Hello, everybody. This episode of the Lewis Sabin podcast is always, of course, brought to you by me. I'm currently not sponsored by anybody. It's a crying shame. However, I would like to thank the Joe Rogan Experience. It's the JRE podcast. You can get it on Ustream and iTunes. He's a very, very funny man. He used to be the host of Fear Factor. He's a color commentator for the UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championship. He also does stand-up comedy. He is a great, great guy. Haven't actually ever met him, but from what I've read from other people, and from his Twitter, he's pretty awesome. Big thanks goes out to Joe. Without his podcast, I would have never thought to have done this. Of course, I'd also like to thank Zions. I'm not sponsored by either of these companies. Zions is the best energy drink out there, I believe, personally, on the market. Zions is sugar-free, 0 calories, and you get no jitters, and there is no crash. It's natural energy, and it's pretty fucking delicious. I currently, right now, I'm drinking Frostberry Blast. It's one of the original sets. This used to be, might still be, I'm not sure. It's confusing because they don't have them as a out there sponsor anymore. Sponsor of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, the UFC. Currently, they're sponsored by Monster, which I think tastes worse than donkey piss. Not that I've ever drank donkey piss, but it tastes terrible. I'll just put it that way. It's worse than Bud Light. Okay. This, however, tastes amazing. I am yet to find a flavor I don't like. Tangerine was a little strange, but that's because I wasn't expecting it to taste the way it does. Tangerine tastes like you're literally biting into a tangerine. But yes, Zions is the best energy drink in my opinion. Absolutely, please buy it. It's that good. I know I normally cover sports. Not much in sports is going on right now, but I realized something not too long ago. I started doing this and never really explained anything about me, who I am, anything. And I thought I should do that. So, without further ado, in sports, as of so far, Detroit Red Wings have lost head coach Mike Babcock. Mike Babcock has signed, last I saw, 8-year, $50 million deal with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Mike served with Detroit for the past 10 years. We wish you nothing but the best. Although you are playing against us now, which is going to suck. Sounds from what I've read, it sounds like Detroit is going to be getting Jeff Blashill, head coach of the Grand Rapids Griffins, who are currently in the AHL semifinals, I believe is what we're at right now, battling for a second Calder Cup, which would be pretty awesome because we won it a couple years ago and it was amazing. Maybe last year, now that I think about it. Yeah. Anyway, all I remember is I was in college when we won it. All right, that's what's important. So, I thought I'd explain me. I don't like doing things that are about me, but you guys don't know who I am. So, I'm going to explain. Hi, I'm Lewis Sabin. I am the third Lewis Sabin in my family. It sucks. It's really confusing because all three of us sit in the same room. And someone calls and asks for Lou, and all three of us look at each other and go, which one? If you hear any background noise, that'd be my dog. He's inside. He's a big goober. Love that guy to death. Yes, I love my dog. Is that okay to say? So, in order to explain something that some people have noticed, I actually got a message about it on Facebook from somebody who knew about it, was like, hey, you might want to explain this. You'll notice if I'm looking into the camera right now. I'm looking at my screen. Let me look at the camera. and look at the screen that I'm on, you'll notice that one of my eyes is not looking anywhere near. Here, I'll look at the camera. You'll notice one of my eyes isn't looking at you. I have a disease. Don't worry, it's not contagious. I have a disease that's known as rod and cone dystrophy. Rod and cone dystrophy is it's a disease with inside the eye where my rods and my cones steal from one another, in layman's terms. Slowly and very, very pain in the dickly. I know that's not a word. I just thought I'd say it. I'm losing my peripheral vision. I have, I think they said 25% or something like that, or 20% peripheral vision. Basically, allow me to explain. I'm going to cheat because I'm looking. I like to look at the screen instead of the camera because then I can see what I'm doing, so I'm not doing something stupid. Basically, what that means is there. I can't see my hands. At that distance. I mean, if I brought it closer, I could tell you. Slowly losing my colored vision. It's basically like looking through a giant tunnel. It sucks. Times like these, I wonder why God couldn't have just given me cancer. It's a lot easier to explain, and then I wouldn't have to worry about this excruciating pain in the ass. It's not painful, it's just a pain in the ass. Because it's really difficult to explain. I have a cane. Not that any people in public ever notice it. I mean that because people kick it out of my hand, jump over it, things like that. Yeah, fuck you people. So, along with my disease, I'm also, by definition, a Democrat. Basically, what I mean by that is I believe in pro-choice when it comes to abortion. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to get people to rage on that one. Basically, my opinion is I'm against it personally. Like, if my girlfriend came to me and said that, I'd be like, well, I prefer if you kept it because that's just how I am. But that's your decision. If you decide no, I gave you my 2 cents. There you go. I'm not going to be able to control what you do. But especially when it comes to rape and incest, I think that if you want to have an abortion, that I understand. Again, I'm not a big fan of it. It's always really hard to explain because I always say I'm not a big fan of it, and they're like, but you just said you're pro-choice. Yes, I think you should have the choice to. Should you? I mean, it's a moral gray area. I'm also 100% for gay marriage. If anyone has a problem with that, fuck you. That's all. That's the only defense I got, too. Fuck you. I think everyone deserves to be happy. If you're a man, you love a man, good for you. If you're a girl and you love a girl, great for you. I don't care. That's what makes you happy. That's what makes you happy. Not that big of a deal to me. I'm a huge outdoorsman. I am a huge fan of clean energy and protecting the earth, mostly because we're destroying it right now. Anyone who says global warming doesn't exist needs to kill themselves. Okay? You're a fucking retard. Just look outside. Especially here. Winter used to be calm. You know, yeah, you can get some snow, some lake effect every once in a while, maybe a little ice. That's about it. Yeah, have you noticed lately it's more like 4 degrees outside, blowing like a motherfucker, and 18 inches of snow. Of course, that's an exaggeration. I'm just saying shit. But still, you know, summers used to stay around, I'd say 80 maybe. 80 would be, you know, a high point for the week. Now it's like in the middle of summer, 80, that's considered cool. It gets fucking hot here. And I'm a 60-degree kind of guy. So, fuck that. I have some basic rules that I follow inside my own life. Just very basic. This is what I think people should do. I'll cover that in a little bit. It's kind of extensive. So I just thought I'd bring it up. I'll bring it up again later. So of course everyone has plans in their life. You know, I have a 5-year plan. I plan on graduating college. It used to be my plan, and then I realized, fuck that. I was wasting my time. Basically, here's what I think college is. It's basically like a lot of, in the case of like Pawn Stars, what they say about boats. It's a giant hole in the water that you throw money into. Because they tell you, well, you need these classes in order to graduate. And then magically, those classes don't exist. Or they're all full. Thought you said the early sign up was now. It is, but there's a lot of people in that class. I'm like, if it's the early sign up, wouldn't that make sense that maybe now there'd be no one in it? Whatever. Fuck it. If you're in college and you're having a good time, good for you. Keep doing what you're doing. Mine was a waste of time. My plan is eventually, hopefully, get married, have kids, that whole thing. I am a fan of that. That's actually been a bit of a problem in the dating world with me. Evidently, the people that I've been after haven't been a huge fan of that at the moment. Whatever. That's their loss. I think I'm pretty awesome, so fuck you if you don't think that. That's kind of how I think in general, actually. I'm a pretty relaxed person. If you don't like it, fuck off. Just how I am. I mean, and I love my sports. That's just kind of how it is. So I thought I'd give you a brief look on my education. I graduated the class of 2013 from Forest Hills Eastern. That's in Grand Rapids. Well, actually, it's in Ada, Michigan. It's kind of a pricey school. It's a pain in the dick. Actually, if you have a disability, don't go there. You'll be treated like shit. Actually, be treated lower than shit. There's cows out in front of the school because I guess someone owns. I want to say it's a dairy. I'm not entirely sure. Out in front of it. Basically, you'll be treated lower than the shit that the cows shit out. Okay? That, if you have a disability, don't go there. I'm warning you. I was treated terribly. And I'm sure you will be too. I also graduated from what's known as Kent Career Tech Center. If anyone's watching this from inside Grand Rapids, it's next to Meyer on Knapp. You can go there when you're a junior in high school or a senior in high school, depending on the program. Some of them are 1 year, some of them are 2 year. I took the criminal justice program, graduated top of my class. I loved it. It was honestly the best thing I ever chose to do. The happiest I have ever been in my life was when I was there. Because you're not treated like just a number on a page. You're actually treated like a person. They understand that you're going to make mistakes. But when you fuck up, do you understand that I fucked up? Or are you an ignorant bastard and went, no, it's their fault? One of the things I noticed as a reoccurring theme, at least in our course, was everybody kind of came from the same background. I was bullied in high school. I was treated like shit. And it's like, oh, or as I like to say, I'm home. It was kind of nice. At the time when I started, there were only 2 instructors. Now there's 3. Mr. Tom Lamica, who was my instructor both years, and also eventually, technically, my boss. I taught there as a student teacher for a year, which was totally worth it. Mr. Lamica is the best educator I have ever had. I love that man. Honestly. He is like a father figure. I love that man a lot. He's just absolutely awesome. He'll actually treat you like a real person. There's also Mr. Greg Eisenhoff, who is teaching, I believe, last I checked, I haven't been there in a while, but last I checked, he was teaching a year, the first year. There's 2 years. Year A, first year, and year B, second year. First year is intro to policing and basics of forensics, things like that. And the second year is courts, probation, jail, and there's another one. I forget. I think that's it. Courts, probation, jail. Yeah, courts, probation, and jail. Which is awesome. It's corrections. That's the 4th. Corrections, sorry. This is a whole. The 3rd instructor who was added second year I was there was his first year, I believe, and then when I taught there, it was his second year. And that is Mr. Kelly Bowers. Again, awesome guy. I never had him, but I've had plenty of conversations with him. He's pretty cool. They're all real chill people. For the most part, as long as you're not an asshole, you're good. But it's honestly the best place I've ever been to. If you're in high school and wondering where you can go, you get college credits for it, please go there. Totally worth it. It's the one place where you'll be treated as an equal, not as a piece of garbage. The relationships you form there will last a lifetime. It's not like high school where you say that and then a year afterwards you realize I only talked to like 4 people that I actually graduated with. No. These people, I don't talk to a lot of them, but, not anymore. It's one of those things where we all moved on and we have our own lives. That's why we don't talk. It's like, but during summers and things when we were still going to school, talk to them all the time. You'll form great relationships there. In fact, I like to bring this little tidbit up. I apologize if I get emotional here. He's a really good friend of mine. You don't only feel like you're just friends. You feel like your brothers and sisters, and you're all been in the same group. You feel like you're honestly family when you leave. Which a dear friend of mine. This is actually part of the reason I haven't been back. A dear friend of mine named Roman Aguilar, may he rest in peace, was killed in a car accident. And that's part of the reason I've never been back. It's not the same without him. And if anyone knows who I'm talking about, you'll understand what I mean. He's a very near and dear friend of mine. Me. See, I fuck up from time to time. One of the things that a lot of people don't know about me that I happen to do is I smoke cigars. Yes, I enjoy my drinking and I enjoy my smoking. If you don't like it, fuck off. It's kind of how I feel about most things. My cigar brands that I personally say are probably the best are... So I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up because I wrote it the other way around, and if I start from the top, I'm going to confuse you because you're not going to know what I'm talking about. So, you start from low-end, cheap. Swisher is just hands down good. I don't have it on here. I meant to. Black and Mild's good. Any of them. They're all really good. There's a particular brand made by Swisher. It's called Blacks. They're BLKs, Blacks. And Black Cherry of that is fantastic. As you work your way up to real cigars, there's, again, they vary in price, but there's these ones I've been smoking. They're called Quorums. Quorums. They're, I don't know, like $1.50 a piece, $2, probably about. Which sounds really cheap, it's because they are. They're pretty good. I'm not, they're fine. If you're just looking for, a decent smoke, they're great. Acid, which always confuses people, because whenever you bring up the brand, they always think you're talking about acid. No, I'm not talking about dropping acid. I'm talking about acid cigars. I have some around here somewhere. Again, some of them are cheap, some of them not so much. The little blondies are $5.50 a piece. So basically, Quorums are cheap. Acids are in the middle, would be middle priced. Some of them are really expensive, most of them aren't. They have these little ones. I don't know what they're called, because I haven't had them in a while. But they're about that big. Come in a little plastic bag. They're fantastic. They look like joints. I'm gonna be honest, but it looks like a joint. It's not. They're fantastic. They're like $7.50 a piece. Or no, $7.50 for the whole bag, I think. But Acid's just overall a good brand, and my personal favorite of the high-end brands is Rocky Patel. Rocky Patel is amazing. The smoke that you get from that is great. Of course, then again, I also have to say, if you're using a guillotine cutter, the smoking is, it's not bad. The problem with okay, I'm going to explain. Guillotine cutter is the one you normally see. It's got 2 holes where your fingers go, and you open it like this. Giant hole in the middle with the 2 cutters. The 2 blades. That's a guillotine cutter. It looks like a guillotine. That's why it's got that name. It's okay. Guillotine cutters, the problem is, any of those type of cutters, guillotine, there's another brand where it's used sideways. It's basically the same thing. They're okay. The problem is you're actually cutting the butt of the cigar off, the head. and all that tobacco in the back is going to leak into your mouth, or as we like to say, it shits in your mouth, and then you gotta spit all that shit out. It sucks. So that's why I suggest if you are going to smoke cigars, go to a hole punch. I have a hole punch. I was told by my cigar aficionado friends that you need to go to a hole punch. Didn't believe them. Went to a hole punch. Holy shit. It doesn't shit in your mouth very often. Every once in a while you get a little bit. That's common. The draw is better. It's just 10 times better if you use a hole punch. But Rocky Patel's. Sorry, I have ADD. You have a little scan bar thing. You can fix this shit. Are amazing. The one I had, the first one I ever had was a Sun Growth, I think is what it was called. Sorry, the dog is carpet swimming on his bed. That sound you hear, if you can hear him, I'm not sure. Which means he's probably going to sneeze in a minute. What was I talking about? Rocky Patel's. It was a Sun Growth one. That's pretty good. The problem with Rocky Patel's is they're expensive. Normal Rocky Patel runs in the $8 range. So if I buy, what I'll do is I'll go into Tobacco Shop, which, again, if you're in Grand Rapids, Wild Bill's. I don't know if they have locations anywhere else. I'm sure they do. Go to Wild Bill's. Great place. Not sponsored by them. I'm not a spokesperson. Don't want to get sued. Basically, it's a great tobacco shop. Rocky Patel's are very expensive. What you do is I'll go in and I'll buy like 2 or 3 acids and a Rocky Patel. Because you don't want to buy a lot of them because they're expensive. 2 of those is 16 to 17 bucks a piece. Or sorry, not a piece, for the pair. If I wasn't stupid. Yeah, like 8 something a piece. Anyway, enough about that. Of course, I also have favorite drinks, which I have on here. Yes, I thought this through. Non-alcoholic. The top of my list is Yoo-Hoo. That's right. I have Yoo-Hoo at the top of my fucking list. Yoo-Hoo is delicious. I am a fat kid. I loved Yoo-Hoo. I liked it when I was a kid, and then magically, poof, it was gone. And then I was in Speedway about 6 months ago, and I saw Yoo-Hoo, and now I've been drinking the shit out of it. I can't find it anywhere, but it's delicious. Second on my list is Mountain Dew. I'm a huge fan of Pepsi products. Actually, when it comes to Pepsi and Coke, I really don't care. Both of them are good. But I'm a huge fan of Mountain Dew. Diet or regular, doesn't really matter. Both of them are pretty tasty. I know a lot of people are going to argue with me about that one. I like them both. Arizona's. Now, I'm not an iced tea person, but those other ones that are 99 cents, they're fruity. They're delicious. What's it called? Mango. The mango one is my personal favorite. They're all good, but mango and watermelon are probably my top 2 favorite. Of the Coke, I actually have it on here. I forgot about it. Would be Vanilla Coke. It's one of my favorites. Vanilla Coke is just delicious. Of energy, it's in my hand. Energy drink. The only one I drink. Science. It's energy, powered by science. It's the only energy drink I drink. I'm not saying that, so maybe they'll sponsor me. No, this is really it. And it's really the only thing I drink, truly. When it comes to energy drinks, it's my favorite. Hence why I thought I'd mention it on here. Now, alcoholic. This is going to make me sound like an alcoholic, and I don't drink very often. Wild Turkey American Honey. It's delicious. Jose Jim Beam Fire is much better than Fireball. When it comes to beers, Bud Light's good. It's one of those, I'm not a huge beer person, so it's Bud Light. It's okay. Hamm's is pretty good. Other. Now, in other, I have Mike's Hard. Mike's Hard is amazing. I know I've said that about a lot of things, but it doesn't taste like alcohol. Same thing, I've now got the name of it. As this Bacardi Blue shit my friends have been having me drink. It's called Zombie, I believe is what they said it's called. It's delicious. It tastes like Kool-Aid. I shit you not. You wouldn't know you're drinking Bacardi. It tastes like Kool-Aid. Another thing I really like to drink are mojitos. They're delicious. They're like sex in your mouth. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's just awesome. All right. I'm a huge movie person. I'm not gonna go over every movie. I've seen a lot of movies. Top movies I have memorized. This isn't a joke. Shawshank Redemption, Titanic, A Few Good Men, Bad La La. Those are like 4 right there off the top of my head that I could think of that I have memorized. I realized that Shawshank Redemption and Titanic combined is like 8 hours. And that's because Titanic's like 6 hours on its own. That's an exaggeration. Exaggeration. Sorry, if I could speak. Trying to think actually how long they are. Shawshank is easily 2.5 to 3 hours. Titanic's 2 VHS tapes. Yeah, I'm that old. I have to come up with VHS tape. It's 2 VHS tapes. So, yeah, it's like 4.5, 5 hours. I think one's 2.5 and the other's 2:25 or something like that. For shits and giggles, we'll say 5 hours. I also have on a list movies that I think everyone at some point should have to see. Tied for number 5, which technically would be 5 and 6. I had 6 on here because, well, it's just that good. Assuming I don't have it on here somewhere else. I didn't think I did. Okay. One of them is a musical. I don't like musicals, generally. I've seen West Side Story 3 times. It makes you want to kill yourself. My grandmother made me watch it, and then I watched it in choir course and went, you've got to be fucking kidding me. That's again. But it's across the universe. It's all Beatles music. It's fantastic. Truly is. I think it's rated like PG-13 or something like that. They wouldn't let us watch it in choir because there's mention of drugs. And I'm like, have you ever heard a Beatles song? Of course there's mention of drugs. One of the songs is called Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. They're talking about LSD. Sorry, the dog needs to be let out. I'll be back in like 5 seconds. Hang on, wow. Sorry, I'm back. It took me a little longer than 5 seconds, but oh well. That's not the point. Another movie that everyone I think needs to see has to deal actually with music, so nice little crossover. And that is Almost Famous. Almost Famous is a movie about, I'm trying to think how old he says he is. Like a 16-year-old kid who ends up writing for Rolling Stone. I'm trying to think where he started. He originally writes for like a local newspaper and eventually starts writing for Rolling Stone. And he travels with a band called Stillwater. It's got, I'm trying to think who's in it now. Jimmy Fallon, even though he's not in it very long. Zooey Deschanel, who's not in it very long. Oh, what's that blonde girl's name? She's really attractive. Give me a second, I'll come up with it. Jason Lee's in it. That's not the person I'm thinking of. I'm trying to come up with their name. If I think of other people's names, I can come up with it. Oh, this is going to drive me nuts. Hang on, let me Google it. I never thought I'd have to think about this. I can see her face. Look at that. It pops up in my Google bar. Oh, fuck you people. It's not even in the... Would you like to see the full cast? How about you give me just the girl that's on the front? Because I can't come up with her name. Shit. Hang on. Now I can give you the full cast list because I'm looking at it. Billy Crudup plays the original character as Russell Hammond. Frances McDormand is in it. McDormand, sorry. She is amazing. She plays his mom. If you like Fargo, actually anything she's in is worth watching, I would argue. She plays a very nutty person in this movie, and she is great at it. Kate Hudson, there she is. Sorry, the attractive blonde I was thinking of. Kate Hudson's in it. She plays Penny Lane. Yes, this character's been mentioned in a couple songs. It's a great movie. Kate Hudson does a fantastic job. Jason Lee Patrick. Oh, fuck, I'm going to fuck up his name. Sorry. Billy Crudup is Russell Hammond. He's one of the guys in the band. Billy Crudup is Russell Hammond and Patrick. Oh, God. Why do you have to give me a name that's a nightmare? I'm not thinking right now. Fugit? Fugit. Whatever. He plays the main character, William Miller. Very good movie. Zooey Deschanel plays his sister. If you watch the opening 10 minutes, you'll realize why it's a good movie. The 10 minutes at the very beginning of the movie make you realize it's that good. Anna Paquin's in it. I forgot about that. Anyway, it's just fantastic. I'm trying to see. Oh, Philip Seymour Hoffman. That's right. He's in it too. He plays some kind of famous writer or something like that he talks to. It's really good. Anyway, yeah, top 5 movies everyone should have to see at some point. 4 is The Life of David Gale. The Life of David Gale is Kevin Spacey. Allow me to pause for just a second. Everything Kevin Spacey's in is worth watching. He's that good. Not like Frances McDormand, where it's like, for the most part, I think most films, no. Everything Kevin Spacey's in is worth watching. House of Cards, fucking awesome. The Ref, fucking hilarious. In this case, The Life of David Gale, it's Kevin Spacey, Kate Winslet, I'm trying to think who plays his wife. I forget. He plays a professor who is originally put on sabbatical for supposedly he raped one of his students. And then eventually ends up being that the woman drops the charges, but he can't get hired. So he turns out being a bit of a drunk. Because when life gives you lemons, sometimes you gotta drink. I came up with that myself. And his wife leaves him. And one of his colleagues ends up being murdered. And he's on death row for murdering her. And Kate Winslet is a writer. And he's trying to explain to her how he's innocent. And you have to decide by yourself whether or not you think he's innocent. And it's just a fantastic movie. I can't say more without giving it away. It's just fantastic. You truly, truly need to see it. That's why it's on this list. Number 3 is Shawshank Redemption. It's a movie I never need to see again. I have memorized. Because, do you feel you've been rehabilitated? Well, let me see here. You know, I don't know what that word means. I know what you think it means, Sonny. See, I have memorized. Because I'd have to throw up too many roadblocks. Not for no crook like me. Shawshank Redemption is a great movie. Morgan Freeman. The warden's played by Gunton. No, I can't think of his first name right now. Tim Robbins. Actually, the guy that currently is in charge of that prison's in it, too. He plays one of the characters. Andy Dufresne, Tim Robbins, is placed on trial for killing his wife and her lover, and he gets sentenced back-to-back life terms. And he's sent to Shawshank Prison. And it's him inside prison with the inmates, and he meets Morgan Freeman. And Morgan Freeman plays Red. I'm trying to word this without giving away parts of the movie. And Andy keeps telling everybody I'm innocent. And there's a great line in that movie that I'm sure is true in most prisons. I don't know, never been. Which is, he tells everybody I'm innocent. Well, then you're going to fit in right on. You're going to fit in here. What you in here for? Didn't do it. Lawyer, fuck me. That's what everybody says. I'm innocent. Everybody but Red. He explains that later. Again, I'm giving away part of the movie. Why am I doing that? It's a great movie. Absolutely need to see it. It's about him realizing whether or not he did it and coming to terms with it himself. And it's just fantastic. Number 2 is The Ledge. The Ledge is a movie... Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start with this. Charlie Hunnam. Any Sons of Anarchy fans knows who Charlie Hunnam is. He plays Jax Teller, for those of you people who are uninformed. Charlie Hunnam, I am a very straight man, but Charlie Hunnam is attractive. Okay? Some people just got it all. He's one of them. Him and Will Smith. He's a very good actor also. Sons of Anarchy is hands down one of the best shows on television. Unfortunately, it's no longer on. I'll get to that in a minute. That's on another list. The Ledge is a movie where Charlie Hunnam plays, I don't want to say atheist, I'm going to say cynic. I'm going to say he's a cynic. And he lives with a gay guy who is another actor. I can't remember his name. He's in a lot of shit, though, too. And he lives across the hall from... Son of a bitch. I gotta look this up. I can't remember her name. Hang on. I didn't think I was going to give an actual explanation. I was just going to say the movies. And that's like, you know what? Nope. Oh, Terrence Howard's in it, too. I forgot about that. He plays a cop. The movie starts out with him on a ledge. I bullshit you not. And it's him standing out there, and he explains what he's doing. And the movie just... goes down from there. It's basically him standing on a ledge telling him, I believe it's at noon or something like that, I will jump. Here's why. And he goes through the story of him explaining. He lives across the hall from Liv Tyler and Patrick Wilson. Patrick Wilson is the guy from Insidious. He's the guy that goes nuts. The older guy, the father in Insidious. He plays a religious zealot. Zealot, would that be the correct word? He's a nutbag. Okay, we'll put it that way. He's a religious nutbag. And Liv Tyler is his wife. Now, Liv Tyler, actually I think he might even be a pastor or something like that. Anyway, Liv Tyler plays his wife, who walks and talks the same way he does with the whole God is everything, religion is everything, da-da-da-da-da. And Charlie Hunnam explains, well, are you sure? Because he's a cynic. And so he explains things that, okay, this and this. And she starts to realize, maybe I'm not happy with my husband. And it just goes downhill from there. You have to see the movie. I can't give it away. It's a great movie. One of the few movies where at the end you're actually going, nah! At the end of it. It's on my holy fucking shit list. My holy fucking shit list, I'll explain real quick, is movies where at the end you actually said, holy fucking shit. And number 1 on my favorite movies. I know, I have ADD. I can't help it. I should have taken some Adderall, but then I wouldn't be able to drink this. So, And number 1 on my movies everyone should see, American Beauty. Again, Kevin Spacey. I'm going to look up the cast list for this because, again, I always fuck it up. Since I'm already on the site, I might as well look it up. Annette Bening. Okay. Annette Bening plays Kevin Spacey's wife. And the movie is amazing. It's the only thing, I hate to use that word again, it's amazing. Everything's awesome. No, everything is not awesome. But in this case, this movie is. Kevin Spacey plays Lester Burnham. Lester Burnham hates his life. Noticing a pattern here. Annette Bening is his wife. Both of them are bored with one another. But because we're supposed to, we remain married. Kevin Spacey ends up smoking pot with the next door neighbor Ricky Fitz, who's played by Wes Benton. See, I'm glad I pulled this up now. And he realizes, my life sucks. I need to change. And he also ends up falling for Mina Suvari, who is, the actress's name is Mina Suvari. The character's name is Angela Hayes, his daughter's friend. Mina Suvari, you might remember from American Pie. She's the blonde. Oh shit, they didn't narrow it down. I'm trying to think how else I would describe her. The short one. Yeah, I'm not sure how else to explain that. Because there's two blondes and the redhead. The one dating the lacrosse player. There you go, that helps. I guess. Anyway. Mina Suvari. And he realizes, I'm no longer interested in my wife. And the movie just is amazing. It sounds weird when I try to explain it. It's really hard to explain this movie without giving away parts of it. Please look up the trailer after you're done watching this. Don't do it now, because I want you to continue listening to me. If you're listening to me at all. But it truly is just one of those movies where it's great. There's a lot of life lessons you can learn from it. I'm smiling, but I'm being serious. There's life lessons you can learn in this. I quoted part of it in a paper. It's that good. Alright, favorite childhood films. Number 1. Actually, you know what? I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up. Because it's a long list. Bottom of the list. Not necessarily in any order. The top 2 are going to sound like movies that you wouldn't want your kids to watch. Trust me, it's going to go over their heads. They're not going to know what the fuck is going on. First one on the list, The Great Outdoors. Great movie. John Candy. Dan Anik. Did I just say Anik? Fuck. Dan Aykroyd. Is his name? Whatever. Good movie. Fucking funny. I'm not thinking right now. Aykroyd. There we go. See? I told you I could come up with it. Uncle Buck. Another John Candy movie. Very funny. I'm not going to go through an explanation of these. 101 Dalmatians, which actually was on the other day. I'm not talking about the non-animated version. I'm talking about the one that came out in 1961. That version is fantastic. Let's see. On this list also is a movie that came out 6 days before I was born, which would be The Lion King. It's not everybody's list. That's why I didn't put it on here. The Fox and the Hound, Space Jam, number 2. These are the only 2. I didn't want to rank the rest of them because it was like, well, it'd be too fucking difficult. Oh, Cool Runnings is on that list too. There's only 2 of them that are actually listed because these are the only 2 where I can clearly say 1 and 2, although they're very close. Number 2 would be Labyrinth. David Bowie, Jennifer Connelly, from the genius mind of Hansen. Jim Hansen. It's a great movie. I totally advise you to watch it. Actually, both of these movies, I would not advise eating pot brownies and then watching these. You might trip out. Number 1, The Never-Ending Story. Hands down, my favorite childhood film. I'm trying not to laugh right now because there's some people who don't know that this exists, and those people need to be slapped outside the head because we are allergic to humans. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. That's the turtle. You'll have to see the film. TV shows that are currently running. Favorites would be Criminal Minds, Property Brothers, and American Pickers. American Pickers is amazing. Again, I hate to say, I gotta stop using that. I need to start writing shit like this down, so I'll stop saying it. American Pickers, allow me to explain real quickly. American Pickers, they find old rusty shit that's cool and buy it. Property Brothers, they show people really expensive houses, explain to them how they can't afford them, find fixer-uppers, and put what they want in it. It's really cool. Criminal Minds, profilers, FBI, find bad guys, arrest them. That's best I can explain it. Currently that are off the air. This list is a little longer. Not really, it's only 4. The first one, How I Met Your Mother. Show's funny. Especially because everyone has all these characters in their life at some point. Don't believe me? Watch the show and then think about it about your close friends. You'll realize we've all got that, all the characters in our lives somewhere. I'm Ted. I would think. Because you see, I unfortunately have 2 fuck-ups as opposed to 1. But same basic idea. Another one would be The Unit. Good show. It's about the special forces and how they do their shit. Pretty awesome. ER, Don't Judge. And 24. Kiefer Sutherland. Rock on. I did not see the last season because some jackass decided to take it off the air. And then like 5 years later go, we're going to reboot it and put it on the same night at the same time. Which I see their premise. Their premise was, we're going back to the same date, same time, whole 9 yards. So that way, people will watch it. Well, here's the problem. Since you went off the air, other shows took that spot. So guess what? Monday nights at 9, I'm fucking busy! Assholes. Favorite John Wayne film? Trick question. All of them. They're all fantastic. That's an actor that you can't fuck up with. I'm dead serious. Although if I had to pick a favorite, be a 3-way tie with The Shootist, which is his last one, McClintock, which is funny, and The Quiet Man. That's just picking 3 off the top of my head. If you haven't seen The Quiet Man, you need to. It's a good movie. Favorite sports? It's a 3-way tie with hockey, football, and mixed martial arts. They're just exciting. 4th would be NASCAR. Because that's what I watch when I'm either A, really bored, or B, need to take a nap. That and golf. Although I can't stand golf. NASCAR I can actually sit down and watch. Golf makes you want to find a gun and kill yourself. Sports teams. College football. Notre Dame. Hell yeah. Which is ironic, because if you think about it, well, not ironic, it's just funny. When you think about all the cussing I do, and all the shit that I say, and my favorite college sports team's a Catholic one. Isn't that ass backwards? NFL. My favorite NFL team would be just the NFC North. Because I live in Michigan, my favorite team, I argue, would be the Lions. However, the Lions in years past have sucked. And since I don't get a lot of other teams, mostly I watch the NFC North, which is the Lions, the Packers, the Vikings, and the Bears. That's in no particular order. Although I would argue the Packers are my second favorite. Like I said, my other favorite... I can't pick my favorite MMA fighter. It'd be by weight class. That'd probably be hard to do. I'd be sitting here for like an hour and a half explaining why, how they do their thing, whatnot. Arguably the greatest of all time is Anderson Silva. Even though Anderson would tell you it's BJ Penn, it's Anderson Silva. That's not up for debate. He's the greatest ever. Hockey. Red Wings. Again, why not? I love them. Favorite AHL team in hockey would be Grand Rapids because I fucking live here. And because they're that good. And they're the Red Wings farm team. You guys know who, hockey fans, know who Jimmy Howard is? Yeah, guess where he came from? He played for Grand Rapids. I watched him. I'm actually, well, technically it's my grandfather, is a season ticket holder. So yay. With Grand Rapids, not Detroit. Gotta make sure I'm clear the air about that one. My favorite comedian, may he rest in peace, is the late and great and very famous George Carlin. He knew how to make funny out of things that weren't funny. I think one of my favorite bits of his, besides, of course, the 7 words you can't say on television, which I will say, hang on, is probably the part about airports and the airplane safety lecture. Because That's totally what I want to do. Be floating around in the ocean, clutching to beer farts. Of course, his other bit, the 7 words you can't say in television, which are shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits, is of course legendary, and everyone knows that one. Well, most people know that one. I'm just in general a huge fan of comedy. I've been listening to Joe Rogan, like I said at the beginning. I have a Spotify account. That's how I've been listening to him for his comedy. And his most recent Rocky Mountain High is fucking hilarious. I totally advise you listen to it. It is explicit for those people who have soft ears and can't hear cuss words. First of all, grow a pair. Secondly, you're going to hear this a lot. Third, it's fucking funny. Get over it. Trying to think. Lewis Black's another one. I really like Lewis Black. My standout favorite's George Carlin, but I really like Lewis Black. Pryor. Eddie Murphy, when he did Delirious, is great. That's on Netflix at the moment, I believe. Delirious and Raw. Raw's where he was the second one, where he discusses his conversation with Bill Cosby, which is hilarious, of course. That's pretty much it. So there, now you guys know a little bit about me. I thought this was necessary. Some people are probably going to notice you didn't say anything about books. I read quite a bit, actually. Right now, I'm reading something that a lot of people are going to judge me on, which would be The Walking Dead. I recently bought the first condendum, I think is how they refer to it. It's like the first 20 books, or the first 10 books, or something like that. I'm a huge fan of the show, and I figured, why the hell not? I'll start from the beginning. I'm also a big fan of Game of Thrones. I've been meaning to buy the books for that, although I haven't heard great things. It's one of those things where I get mixed. I've had mixed reviews. I've had some people that say the books are really good, and I've had other people where they go, the book, it's not bad. The best books that I've ever read, probably best book. I'll say book. Books would have been. If I'm going books plural, hands down, Harry Potter. Great read. Favorite book, because I know you're gonna say people might say something about it. Favorite book. 1984 was actually pretty good. A lot of people say it's a dry read. It is, but you realize after you read it, so many things make sense. Again, in closing, please listen to the Joe Rogan podcast, JRE. It's the Joe Rogan Experience. It's on iTunes and I believe on Ustream. Big fan of his. I am not a spokesperson. Please, please, please listen to him. He is amazing. He has great interviews. He's the reason I started this. And please drink Zions. Again, I am not a spokesperson. I am not making any money off of this. None whatsoever. In fact, I'm spending money to get these. No, I'm stealing them. No, I'm buying them. Okay, you jackass. They are delicious. If you cannot handle energy drinks, do not drink it. Okay? To those stupid people out there who, he said I was supposed to. No, if you can't drink them normally, don't do it. Don't. Look at me. Don't do it. Bad idea. If you do drink energy drinks, and you know you can handle it, drink one of these. My personal favorite is the raspberry lemonade. It tastes like raspberry lemonade. You would never know that you're drinking an energy drink. Not to say that this flavor is not bad. Sorry, not to say that this flavor is bad. Yeah. Sorry, my brain doesn't work like yours does, okay? Great energy drink. It's fantastic. Can't say anything more about it without constantly repeating myself. Please drink it. It's fantastic. Trying to think of anything else. Planning on doing Dr. Grins at some point. That's the comedy store, kind of like in the Bob. Probably in the next 4 to 5 months. I'm in the middle of writing some material and figuring out whether or not I can even get in the fucking place. They have an open mic night. It's probably when I decide to do it, I'll send out a date. But that's the plan. That's pretty much it. Yeah. So you all have yourselves a wonderful day, evening, morning, whenever the fuck you're listening to this. And I will try to do the same. Much love. Bye.